Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please direct your attention to the center of the mat for a special presentation. Tonight's matchup against Newberry will mark the final dual meets for two UNCP seniors who will wrestle for the last time in front of their home fans. They have been a part of one of the most successful stretches for the UNCP wrestling program, having been part of more than 50 dual meet wins in their time here. Our first senior is a native of Mayodan, Brock Walker. Brock has tallied 44 wins during his time as a collegiate wrestler, with half of those wins coming with bonus points, including 14 pins. He's made 5 trips to the podium during his collegiate career, including a win at the 35th Annual Pembroke Classic earlier this season. A 2-time Peach Belt Conference Presidential Honor Roll selection, Brock is on pace to graduate this May with his degrees in Sociology and Criminal Justice. Joined on the mat tonight by his mother, Frances, and his daughter, Peyton, ladies and gentlemen, Brock Walker. The second member of the class of 2016 is Hampstead native Stuart Nadeau. Stuart's registered 68 wins as a collegiate wrestler, including a 22-8 mark this season and a number 6 ranking in the latest Super Region 2 poll. Of his 68 wins, 36 have been by the bonus point variety, including 32 by pin. Over the last 4 years, Stuart has made 8 trips to the podium, including 2 place winner honors this season, a 4-time selection to the Peach Belt Conference Presidential Honor Roll. Stuart has also received the Division II Athletic Directors Association Academic Achievement Award twice and was named the NCAA Division II Wrestling Coaches Association All-Academic Team following both his sophomore and junior seasons. He will graduate in May with a degree in Business Administration with a double concentration in Marketing and Management. Joined on the mat tonight by his parents, Glenda and Mike Nadeau, ladies and gentlemen, Stuart Nadeau. And that's not the fans booing, they're actually saying, Stu. It's awesome. That's the UNCP Wrestling Class of 2016 senior night for UNC Pembroke. They're getting ready to take on Newberry in a huge ECAC duel coming up next. Good evening, Brave Nation, and welcome inside the English E. Jones Center. It's senior night for UNCP Wrestling. With Josh Watts, I'm Cameron Songer. Starting lineups being introduced for this big-time duel between the Newberry Wolves and the UNCP Braves. Starting lineups now being introduced, so let's get them to you. But Josh, this is a really important matchup for both teams. Conference supremacy on the line in the inaugural season of ECAC Wrestling. What is it like out there, the atmosphere for this team?
Well, being at home, it is kind of relaxing to a degree, but then you also have the stress of having, it's your home crowd. You got to put out for them. So it's going to be a tough one tonight, but I believe we can pull it off.
At 125, UNCP will have Josh Brown taking on Trung Dung from Newberry, who's ranked number 7 in the nation in Division II at the 125-pound weight class. At 133, UNCP will have Dustin Smith taking on Jordan Simpson from Newberry. At 141, Ryan Blackwell for UNCP versus Newberry's Nick Langford. At 149, we don't have the name of the wrestler for Newberry yet. It'll be Eric Milks, though, for UNCP. Also at 157, it's a mystery for Newberry for us at this point up in the broadcast booth, but Hayden Fry for the Braves. 165, we'll see Joey DiMartino for the Black and Gold against Lucas Gilmore of Newberry. 174, UNCP's Blaze Shade taking on Unknown. And at 184, Mikey Thomas for UNCP versus Huston Evans. 197, Brock Walker for UNCP versus Cody Brundage for Newberry. And at 285, Stuart Nadeau versus Mike Kennedy for Newberry at the 285. Correction, at 165 it'll be Joe Ramaklis for UNCP, not Joey DiMartino. A late change there for UNCP.
Oh, man. Joe's video is very funny. Oh my gosh.
They have introduction videos here that we just filmed recently at the UNCP athletic department, and they're what we call video headshots, but essentially the crowd is seeing them for the first time. The guys all turn, they have their arms crossed, there's lightning flashing in the background, and it's an opportunity to look tough, but also show off their personality a little bit.
Yeah.
Another one of those what you would call home advantages is that you get to get that atmosphere. You have your home fans behind you.
Right.
Get loose and really put on a show in what's going to be what's traditionally been a great rivalry between these two teams, and we expect nothing different here tonight.
Just a fun fact for you, Josh Brown's nickname is Mighty Mouse, and I believe once you get out there and see him, you'll see the comparison.
We'll start at 125. Josh Brown for UNCP, a 5'3" sophomore from Durham, North Carolina, taking on Trung Dung out of Newberry. As we are ready to get going. Josh Brown on the season, 16-11 overall, 3 pins and 1 major decision under his belt. This is the second time Brown has faced off against Dung, and for Dung, he holds the edge in the series, 1-0 so far, a major decision back at the Pembroke Classic at the start of the year, a 12-3 major decision for Trung Dung, the first time these two wrestlers faced off. But we're ready to see him again, and opportunity for Brown to show how much he's improved over the course of the season. And on the flip side, for Newberry's Dung, it's an opportunity to show that he deserves a top 10 ranking.
Might have turned the leg the wrong way. I'm not sure what happened there.
Point being awarded to Josh Brown, 1-0 UNCP in this match.
One point can really be the difference between a win and a loss, and something that might come down to it in this match.
Especially at 125 pounds, where
yes,
the power is not the same as what you'd see in a higher weight class. A lot more about speed and technique.
Speed, definitely their endurance is going to play a big factor into this.
So getting that first point is huge. Neither wrestler's gotten an advantage yet.
Great hand fighting here. See, Trung Dung is going for a lot of offensive, and Josh Brown's giving it right back with his counter offense.
Nearly 1 minute down in the first period. Josh Brown has the 1-0 lead over Trung Dung from Newberry.
Josh Brown was hit for stalling. Looks like wasn't attacking quite a bit, but he's stepped it up now with that warning call.
They go to the edge of the mat. No wrestler had an advantage. They'll come back neutral. 1:34 to go in the first period. 1-0 the lead for Josh Brown of UNC Pembroke.
Almost had the kick through with the, but they were right on the out of bounds. But good mat awareness by Josh Brown. Trung Dung's in on the leg. Oh, gets the takedown.
2-point takedown for Dung. So he will take the 2-1 lead. And now Dung accumulating riding time.
Dung has an Iowa ride in right now, and there it goes. Josh Brown would have been in some pretty deep trouble if he would have kept. Well, yep, goes right back to it. It's right there at the 45-degree angle.
Dangerous position here for Josh Brown. Final 25 seconds of the first period.
Hit for stalling again, and that's a 1-point penalty for Josh Brown. The score's even. Or, take that back. Dung leads with a 2-point lead.
3-1 the edge for Dung. He has 58 seconds of riding time here in the first period, and there's 19.6 seconds to go before the second period begins.
Hit with an early start, caution on Josh Brown. The new rule this year was placed where you have to give at least 1 second pause before the set and then the whistle blowing for action.
So back going once again from the center of the mat. Brown with the escape. Make it 3-2 now. 5 seconds left in the first period.
Very nice.
And there's the horn at the end of period number 1. Trung Dung up 3-2.
Riding time is not sealed, but it is over a minute, which gives Dung a 1-point lead at the end of the match. Josh Brown can get up again and escape, and then maybe get a takedown. He can get that back down because it's not too far over. It's only at 107 right now.
Absolutely. It's important that he doesn't let the riding time pile up too much here in the second period and let that lead become insurmountable. 2 minutes on the clock for period number 2. Josh Brown starting on the bottom with Newberry's Trung Dung on top. Dung with the 3-2 lead. This is the first match of today's duel. Brown in position, gets the escape.
Very nice.
We're all even at 3.
Important aspect of coming out from under on there is not only hand fighting, but also you have to learn how to foot fight, get your feet free and clear so that way you can stand up. Almost has a kick through right there. That was great wrestling by Josh Brown.
Tenacious Josh Brown not going down. Score remains 3-3. 45 seconds through the second period now. Start to see the endurance become a factor for both wrestlers.
Josh Brown has to really put in some offense here because he doesn't want to get hit with another stalling call. Has to watch out for Dung going for a limp arm right here at this scenario, so he has to really whizzer hard. He's going in for a funk roll. Oh, that's a takedown.
2-point takedown for Dung. And you don't get to 25-8 on the season without some skills. Trung Dung showing that here tonight. He leads 5-3. Now up over 90 seconds of riding time. 30 seconds to go in the second period.
Wasn't really the smartest decision to dive through like that for Josh Brown, but it seems like there's a technical violation because Dung went for the throat.
So Brown gets a point there, makes it 5-4. There's 18.5 seconds left in the second period. Brown down in riding time right now by 1:47, but he will start the third period on top. The Braves sideline imploring Brown to get this escape. 7 seconds left in the second period. This extra point would be huge. Dung looking for the pin. He's not going to get it. And 2 periods down, 1 to go. Trung Dung up 5-4 on Josh Brown.
Brown's still down by a point, but hopefully he can knock off some of that riding time.
The riding time advantage is 2:06 right now, or it was at the start of the period. Dung looking for the escape. Doesn't have it. There it is. So Brown needed an awful lot of riding time in this period to negate the riding time point for Trung Dung.
Really, Dung all he has to do right now is really kind of watch watches itself, but not only have mat awareness, but can really, as we say, stall out this entire match to win it all. So Josh Brown's really going to have to push on the offense.
Yeah. In another 30 seconds, that riding time becomes locked in for Trung Dung, and he does already have a 2-point lead. 107.
Right about now is really when the gas tank comes into effect.
1 minute to go. Brown needs to get an advantage quickly here.
It's a pretty tight wizard right there.
Not able to do it.
He limps arms out.
Dung gets the takedown. Riding time begins accumulating for Newberry's Trung Dung. He will also guaranteed have the riding time point, now going for the pin. 35 seconds left in the third period. Josh Brown trying to hold on. Every team point going to be huge in tonight's duel. 20 seconds left. Josh Brown not going to win this, but needs to avoid a fall here. 5 seconds left. Waiting for the signal from the official. 1-0. There's the horn. 4-point near fall there.
With the 1-point riding time.
With the 1-point riding time, the
Looks
final
like
margin ends up being 12-4.
Major.
And that's a major decision. Trung Dung, a winner by major decision over Josh Brown at 125 pounds. And here we go at 133 pounds. Newberry taking the first one, a team score, a major decision, so 4 points for the Wolves to get this one started. Gotta say, I like the band playing. It really adds to the atmosphere here, and it's not something you're used to at a wrestling match, so fun. It's fun. And
we even have the Spirit Squad in attendance tonight, which is something you don't see quite often in wrestling matches.
133-pound match underway. Dustin Smith for UNC Pembroke, Jordan Simpson for Newberry.
Dustin Smith has some really big shoes to fill here as a freshman coming in. But I know he has a great work ethic, and it's definitely going to build not only on this year, but next year as well.
Simpson gets the early 2-point takedown. Leads 2-0. 40 seconds into the first period here at 133 pounds. Team score 4-0 in favor of Newberry. And this is, again, a rematch of a contest that took place at the Pembroke Classic at the start of the season. It was a win by fall for Newberry. And Jordan Simpson defeated Dustin Smith there. Dustin Smith has kind of struggled this year as a true freshman, 7-22 overall. He does have 3 pins. On the other side for Jordan Simpson, a 15-5 overall record. And he's a perfect 1-0 in ECAC competition. Simpson in control early. Over 30 seconds of riding time with the first minute in the books.
Newberry seems to be a really big fan of leg locks when they're riding the legs. Not really much you can do right there on bottom, but the ref just hit us with a stall call.
So it's a warning, no points awarded yet. About a minute to go in the first period, and it's been all Newberry so far.
He's really going to have to hip over, stand up. And even if he has a leg in, when he stands up, he's... Yep.
Whistle will stop play, and a point will be awarded to UNCP. As both wrestlers will go to the sideline.
Looks like blood time here. Might be a little nosebleed, but...
Actually correct that and put the point for Newberry. 3-0 the lead for Jordan Simpson over UNCP's Dustin Smith. Stopping to wipe up some blood on the mat. Opportunity here for Dustin Smith to get a word of advice and some encouragement from UNCP Wrestling head coach O.T. Johnson. Talking about strategy from being on bottom there.
A lot of the times guys just like to throw in legs just to get on some more of the riding time and kind of seal in the riding. But Newberry's really going for the head here when they're on the legs, and it's kind of painful to watch because it's all that weight on that hip joint. You can't really get up as fast or as quick as you think you could.
54.5 seconds remaining in the first period. Already a minute and 35-second advantage riding time for Newberry's Jordan Simpson. And not allowed to continue once again. Looks like there's still another blood time here. And here we go again after pretty lengthy blood time. We're ready to go again. Dustin Smith on bottom for UNCP. Jordan Simpson for Newberry, holding a 3-0 lead in this match. 50 seconds remaining in the first period. Looked like that time did nothing to stop the momentum for Jordan Simpson.
Dustin's really clamping off, but he let the leg in right there. That's one of the biggest things about defensive legs, is not letting them in the first place.
.21 seconds remaining in the first period. Whistle and a stoppage.
Blood again.
Another blood timeout. Ready to go again after another blood time. Dustin Smith for UNCP. Jordan Simpson of Newberry. Period number 1 continues. 12 seconds to go before the end of that period. It's been almost all riding time for Newberry. There's the end of the first period. 2 minutes, 29 seconds of riding time accumulated there for Jordan Simpson. He also picked up 3 points. The lead 3-0 over UNCP's Dustin Smith. Josh Watts, I'm Cameron Songer. Thank you for joining us. UNCP Wrestling Senior Night against Newberry. And for the start of the second period here at 133 pounds, Dustin Smith will start out on top. A very quick escape for Jordan Simpson.
It's a nice Granby attempt by, actually, with the escape here, it's quite not much Dustin could do to chisel off that riding time, so he's going to have to really push on the offense here.
At what point is Simpson starting to play a little bit more defensively, knowing that he has the edge in riding time, knowing that he has the edge on the scoreboard at 4-0? The answer is not being very defensive there. Takes Smith right to the edge of the mat. An extra point awarded there for Simpson. I think they're saying Smith was backpedaling too much.
It's really hard, especially when you're on the mat and you start seeing refs throw up the stall call a couple of times, and then you start getting a little bit more desperate, especially if you're losing. In Dustin's case, tend to give up things a little bit more, or tend to go for things a little bit harder than you should. But looks like Dustin is giving a little bit more pace than he was at the beginning of the match.
Halfway through the second period, 5-0 the lead for Newberry's Jordan Simpson.
Almost. See blood, so we might be in for another blood time if.
The official sees it. 2-point takedown for Jordan Simpson of Newberry. 30 seconds left, a whistle, and this might be the blood timeout. There it is, so another blood timeout. Here we go, 30 seconds remaining in the second period. After the, third or fourth blood timeout here in this match. Dustin Smith for UNCP putting up a good fight against Jordan Simpson, but scoreboard heavily leaning the way of Jordan Simpson for Newberry. And the lower weight classes right now have been dominated by the visiting Wolves. Period number 2 comes to a close. 3 minutes of riding time and 1 second on the scoreboard showing for Newberry's Jordan Simpson. So he has locked up the bonus point for riding time. Nothing Dustin Smith can do about that. Trailing 7-0 on the scoreboard. They'll come set even for the start of the third period. 2 minutes, and Dustin Smith an opportunity to try to get some points back. Otherwise, this will be another major decision against UNCP.
I know it's not the wisest decision, but I believe Dustin's really going to have to go for something desperate here.
Two-point takedown. 2 more points awarded to Jordan Simpson, make it 9-0 in this third period of the 133-pound match. Another point awarded there to Newberry. Makes it 10-0.
Really not being stingy with these stall calls.
The refs want to keep this one moving. And they'll blow the action dead. 56.5 seconds remaining in the third period. 10-0 the lead. Riding time already locked up for Newberry's Jordan Simpson at 133 pounds. Dustin Smith, see if he can get back in the scoring column. It would take a nice surge to avoid a major decision at this point. First time these two wrestlers faced off at the beginning of the season, it was a fall. The pin recorded by Jordan Simpson, so Dustin Smith hanging a little tougher this time around. As the third period comes to a close, we have a major decision. Victory for Newberry's Jordan Simpson at 133 pounds. He defeats UNCP's Dustin Smith. On to 141 pounds. Ryan Blackwell in the black and gold for UNCP. Nick Langford for Newberry. Team scoring right now showing 8-0 in favor of the visiting Wolves. It's time for the Braves to start making a move. Ryan Blackwell, redshirt senior from Cape Carter at North Carolina. 13-8 overall this season, 4 pins, 1 major decision. The first time he's faced Langford this season.
Blackwell has a lot of experience on this team and a lot of experience, I believe so, with wrestling Newberry. So should be a very different match than Dustin Smith's match. But give him a lot of credit, though, coming out there and fighting that hard as a freshman.
Langford for Newberry, 141 pounds. He's in a 13 and 11 mark, so certainly not the same powerhouse that we saw for Newberry at 125 and 133. Braves looking to get on the board in the team scoring here tonight. First minute in the books in the first period here at 141 pounds. No score yet.
Closing the distance there. Oh, good throw.
Crowd getting going for the first time this evening. 2 points for Blackwell.
Super duck right into that throw. That was beautiful.
That's what the fans came here to see. UNCP wrestling. Here we go again.
Oh, has to be careful here. Have to get his hips up just like he did. Very nice Granby attempt, but Blackwell followed his hips.
Langford trying so hard for the escape. Really expending a lot of energy here. Riding time at 45 seconds for Blackwell for UNCP. Right at the edge of the mat. Point given to UNCP.
Going into the neutral position here.
Oh, no, point given to Newberry. Now going to the neutral position, so they got the escape. The escape for Langford. That could really swing the momentum. So animated on the UNCP sideline. O.T. Johnson.
Good defense, getting the head away, breaking the grip on the leg. That was classic technique right here. I don't know if that's a... Oh, another super duck. Oh, that's a tough call by the ref, but never leave it in the judge's hands.
Ran out of room to operate there along the edge of the mat. Ryan Blackwell putting on a show here for the black and gold. 20 seconds to go in the first period. 2-1 is the lead for UNCP's Blackwell.
Really muscled through with that fireman's dump.
There's 2 points. Going for more. Again near the edge of the mat. His foot was off the mat.
7 seconds left in the first period. I hope Ryan can hold this gas tank for the rest of the match.
He's got some extra effort behind him from the hometown fans in Pembroke. Braves still looking to get on the board in the team scoring. They trail 8-0 there after a pair of major decisions. Trying to come standing up. Blackwell does not let him get the escape. That's huge. It was pretty close for Langford right at the end. Decision for Blackwell to start. Looks like on the bottom for the second period. UNCP's Ryan Blackwell picked up 1 minute and 3 seconds of riding time in the first period. It starts on the bottom in period number 2.
That rule this year that was implemented was meant to stop things like what Langford did right there with coming in right off as soon as he sat down to rush into a turn or something like that. So the pause really gives both wrestlers an even advantage.
See if he can get it right on the third try. Now they're looking at the clock where a second had run off and they put that second back on. Second period starting here at 141 pounds.
See that leg lock again from Newberry.
Trying to turn UNCP's Blackwell.
Great fighting here by Blackwell. He needs to base up and get out of there quick. He's spending a lot of energy keeping that one leg from turning the rest of his body over. Rolling through here, can come out the back door. Oh, on his back.
No. And the pin. Langford, a winner at 141 pounds for Newberry. Nick Langford, after falling behind in the first period, the win at 141 pounds. Nick Langford pins Ryan Blackwell. The Braves still shut out in this one. On to 149 pounds, Eric Milks for UNCP versus Zach Dobbins for Newberry. Team scoring right now, Newberry 14, UNCP 0. It was looking good for the Braves for a bit at 141 pounds, and Blackwell fell in the second period. Redshirt sophomore Eric Milks on the mat now for UNCP. New Bern, North Carolina. 22-9 this season, with 9 of those victories coming by pin.
Gets the takedown. Eric Milks out of bounds. Great effort there. As long as the opponent wrestler has some sort of defense in, Eric would have to either get to the hip or the ankle, and right there the ref decided that ankle was the best call for the takedown, and Eric got it. Way to seal it, dude.
Dobbins the quick escape, so not a lot of riding time for Milks, just 4 seconds in the first minute of period number 1. We're at 149 pounds. UNCP Braves wrestling, taking on Newberry on the Braves senior night. Zach Dobbins 11-6 overall this year. This is the first time he's wrestled in an ECAC duel. He has the leg of Milks.
Milks goes in for the funk roll. Looks like he has something there. Has the leg.
No advantage for either side yet. Halfway through the first
going
period.
for the Peterson.
Action stopped.
Looks like blood time. Eric Milks has a huge piece of skin missing from his nose ever since December when they went up to the Midwest Classic, and tried to wear a face mask during practice here and there, but he couldn't stand it. Just because that face mask, if you've ever wrestled before, really gets in the way. You can't see really what your opponent's doing.
So let's take a quick break here for the blood time. Ready to go once again at 149 pounds. Eric Milks for UNC Pembroke. Zach Dobbins for Newberry. Lead right now 2-1 for Milks. 4 seconds of riding time as we've wrestled about 2 minutes here in the first period. Team scoring looks like this. 14 for the Wolves of Newberry, none for the UNCP Braves.
Coming out to be not only a tough match, but a tough duel here tonight.
Much stiffer competition Newberry offers the Braves compared to some of the other opponents that have come in to Lumbee Guaranty Bank Court this season.
Great defense by Eric Milks here. Really just knowing the body here. And
too close to the edge, neither wrestler picking up an advantage. There's 20.5 seconds left in the first period. And the Braves handled Belmont Abbey, Spartanburg Methodist, and St. Andrews earlier this year. Those are the only other duels UNCP has hosted this season. And this is the final one, and Definitely the highlight of the home slate in terms of duels for UNCP.
2 years ago, the Braves won, I believe, 18-15. And last year when they went to Newberry, they lost 18-15. So coming down to pretty close wire as far as the score here. And could see a repeat of either last year or 2 years ago, but definitely going to be a competition.
It'll be an uphill battle for the Braves. They trail 14-0 in the team scoring after the first 3 weight classes. First period down with UNCP's Milks up 2-1 over Newberry's Dobbins. And Milks will begin the second period on top. And Dobbins gets the early escape. So just 10 seconds of riding time added there for Milks. That number now showing 14. This was the period that he got to start on top. Now he's got to earn some more. Dobbins and Milks proving very evenly matched here at 149 pounds. Edge of the mat, no advantage.
Great call by the ref here, seeing the action. A lot of refs don't recognize one of the classic moves. Eric Milks hits the Peterson, which is basically a roll through with the wrist grab and you wrap the leg. And he's been going for it quite consistently this night. Hit it once, and definitely the ref has a good eye for this.
Halfway through the second period, even at 2-2 in this match. Milks going back in on Zach Dobbins for Newberry. .33 seconds left in the second period. Not a lot of scoring here in the second frame.
Nice.
Milks for 2.
Low single attack was very crisp there, and really going to have both of them are really going to have to dig in their gas tank to finish out this match.
They get 4-2. UNCP's Eric Milks. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Second period coming to a close. 35 seconds of riding time, the advantage for Milks, and Dobbins will look to get some of that back as he starts the third period on top.
Hopefully the Braves are aware of the leg lock and leg riding here. Newberry's been bringing to the table the last couple of matches, and here we see another caution. Coming in with a roll through. Wow. Very nice.
Move. What a move by Eric Milks. 2 more points for him. Now adding more to his riding time. 6-2 the lead for UNCP's redshirt sophomore. .30 seconds down, 90 seconds remaining in the third period. Milks in very good position to pick up the Braves' first win of this duel.
Crowd calling for a stalling call here, since ref was a little bit more generous to give stalling calls for Newberry, it seems, and then coming in here he gives a actual stalemate.
And we'll have another stoppage. It's a blood time as Eric Milks appears to be bleeding from his nose. Just a quick one, though, as they just wipe him up and get right back going again. It's nice to see, because we had some pretty lengthy delays in the second match of today's contest, where Dustin Smith really had just a very violent match with Jordan Simpson. It would end up being a major decision for Newberry Simpson.
Milk looks to be going for a cradle here. Has a tight crossface.
Braves need a lot of team points, trailing 14-0 in the team scoring, and this is the 4th weight class of the night. .40 seconds to go. Quickly approaching, locking up that riding time point. There it is. Now, Milks guaranteed the bonus point for riding time at the end of the match. Currently 6-2, 23 seconds left. And, if Dobbins is going to make a move, no time like the present for the Newberry Wolf. There's the escape. It's at 6-3. There's 10 seconds left. Milks just needs to stay up at this point. 5, 4, 3. Time running out. That'll do it. At 149 pounds, UNCP's Eric Milks gets the Braves on the scoreboard. He defeats Zach Dobbins. The score of 7-3. Hayden Fry on the mat now for UNCP at 157 pounds. Braves now trail 14-3 in the team scoring after the win for Eric Milks. Just 3 points though, and the Braves need more than that. Otherwise, they're going to have to straight up win more of these matches. For Newberry, their wrestler at 157 is Ryan Long.
I believe he was a transfer. Don't believe he was here last semester for Newberry.
Long, this is just his 8th appearance of the season. He's 3-4 on the year, so a little bit of a surprise there at 157 pounds. Fry's only experience this season against a Newberry wrestler is against Cody Rothermill. And that was in the final of the Pembroke Classic, which Hayden Fry went on to win. Fry 15-15 this season. The sophomore from California has 3 pins and 2 tech falls, as well as 1 major decision. 157-pound weight class underway. And no scoring yet. Halfway through the first period now.
Coming into the middleweights here, you see a lot more strength and aggression. But definitely gas tank comes into effect here.
Stall warning against Long for Newberry. Just a warning, so no points yet.
Long seems to have a Russian tied up here. And Fry's looking for the counter, grabbing that elbow there. Great defense.
Final 40 seconds of the first period. Still no scoring here at 157 pounds.
Nice arm spin attempt by Hayden Fry. .25 seconds left in the first. Really been a offensive match here.
Two guys that have never faced each other, feeling each other out a little bit. Hayden Fry, 6 seconds left. Trying to avoid getting taken down to end the first period. And no points will be awarded.
Really seems pretty even as far as technique-wise.
Hayden Fry for UNC Pembroke. Ryan Long for Newberry, 157-pound weight class. UNCP facing an 11-point deficit in the team scoring, 14-3. It will be Long starting out on top in the second period. Clean start this time after it wasn't clean the first time they tried to start the second period.
Hitting a switch right off the bat. Great reversal. Other ref is calling locking hands. Can't really see it from this vantage point, but give Long a free move, as we'd say, for getting out or doing an escape, but he will be awarded an extra point.
So the score 3-1 in favor of UNCP's Hayden Fry. .110 to go in the second period.
And for the single leg, needs a table of leg here. Limped arm out and got the takedown. Great takedown by Hayden Fry.
2 huge points for Fry. And right back to work.
Into the tilt.
I can't remember the last time I saw O.T. Johnson so animated about something. There were 2 just large leaps in the air to really emphasize the point. He was stomping his feet. Wanted Fry to be perhaps a little bit more aggressive there. As it is, riding time accumulating for Hayden Fry, up over 30 seconds now, 15 seconds remaining in the second period. And he's not letting Ryan Long go anywhere. Oh, that escape right at the horn. A big point for Newberry to end the second period.
Ref waves off the escape. Really great to have a second ref on the mat here to not really give any type of say for if a ref was biased or not, and having a second pair of eyes really does help out when you're trying to decide a conference championship.
Both of these teams undefeated in the East Coast Athletic Conference, the first year of this conference for wrestling. It's nice for UNCP, although it was kind of announced a little late. The schedule is pretty much already set, and there's no conference meet. It's kind of determined over the course of the season. But the teams that are all set to wrestle each other that had joined, and it's nice for UNCP to not be wrestling as an independent in Division II anymore.
Finally have a conference here for UNCP and UNCP wrestling in general, but I'm sure one day we'll get down to a conference tournament maybe, or
it's one of just 2 sports for UNCP that doesn't participate in the Peach Belt Conference. That's because the Peach Belt Conference doesn't sponsor wrestling and football, and also indoor track. But whether you consider indoor track to be separate of regular track is a semantic debate, I suppose, and not appropriate here for tonight. Riding time picking up for Hayden Fry. He's got over a minute and 15 seconds now. There's 1:25 to go in the third period, and Fry up 5 points to 1 over Ryan Long of Newberry. Team scoring is Newberry 14, UNCP 3 right now. A pin by Langford for Newberry at 141, and major decisions at 125 and 133 for the Wolves.
Has a really deep, tight waist here. As Coach Noddy's saying right now, he really needs to drive his feet forward to definitely get that tilt turned over, but decides to cut him. Long gets the escape point.
The escape for Long. He trails 5-2 now. Riding time point now assured for Hayden Fry, which essentially makes his lead 4 points with 36 seconds left in the third period.
Needs to be careful of backing up here. Could be hit with a stall call. "20 seconds left.
Things looking good for Hayden Fry. Try to get the Braves' second straight win in back-to-back weight classes. 6 seconds left. He retreats back towards the middle of the mat. There's the horn, and Hayden Fry, a winner at 157 pounds, make the team score now 14-6 in favor of Newberry. On to 165 pounds, it's Joe Ramaklis for the Braves taking on Lucas Gilmore for Newberry. Gilmore is 15-10 on the season, and Ramaklis 7-4. Ramaklis, a redshirt sophomore from Lincoln, Nebraska. Team score looks like this: Newberry 14, UNCP 6. Braves picked up back-to-back decisions at 157 and 149 after falling behind 14-0 in the team scoring.
Great offense and defense displayed here in that quick little action right now, and Joe seems to be putting up a good fight. He came off injury not too long ago and had a concussion from when Pembroke went up to New York to duel Notre Dame and Long Island University. Great whizzer by Joe Ramaklis.
Dancing around right now. Stall warning against Ramaklis and a 2-point takedown for Gilmore. Halfway through the first period now, 90 seconds in the books. It's Gilmore striking first, taking a 2-0 lead.
Really trying to slip that leg in there for the leg ride, but
reach the edge of the mat. They'll come back to the center. 54 seconds to go in the first period. The lead in this match, just 2-0 for Lucas Gilmore. Team scoring is 14-6 in favor of the Wolves from Newberry. And someone got a head start there. Ramaklis on bottom. Looked like he started a little too quickly. Ramaklis trying to reverse. Gilmore not having it.
Gilmore's really cranking on that that wrist lock right now. let him get in on the legs. It's going to be tough. As we've seen so far tonight, that Newberry's pretty strong with their leg rides.
3 seconds left in the first period. Riding time at 1:38 in that first frame for Newberry's Lucas Gilmore. Just a 2-point lead, though, and still very approachable for Joe Ramaclis. They will come neutral for the start of the second period. Minute 30 remaining in the second period. A low-scoring contest here at 165 pounds.
Deep on the leg here. Really needs to get his head up and drive through with his legs, but ref calls a quick stall call on that.
Nothing really doing there over Mackless. 14-6 is the team score lead for Newberry. 2-0 the lead for Newberry's Lucas Gilmore in this 165-pound match. Two more there for Gilmore on the takedown. 4-0 his lead over Mackless.
Locked up a figure four on the figure four here. Very tight.
He's got Ramaclis dangerously close to the edge. Ramaclis got a fight here. Changes position briefly. There's the pin. And this one's over at 165 pounds. Lucas Gilmore pins Joe Ramaclis of UNCP. And that is how 165 pounds comes to an end. On to 174 pounds, and for the Braves, it's Blaze Shade. Redshirt junior from New Jersey, 34-3 on the season, 10 pins, the Pembroke Open champion, and he will face for Newberry, Dennis Flores. The time is now for UNCP if they want to make a move in the team scoring. It's the lead back up to 14. Started out 14-0. The Braves picked up 2 decisions, but then a pin there at 165 pounds for Lucas Gilmore gets those 6 points right back. It's 20-6 in team points, and Blaze Shades, you almost think it's pin or bust for the Braves at this point. Starting to come down the home stretch of this contest. Just 3 more weight classes to go after this one. And down by 14 points in the team scoring.
Blaze has a really tight Russian in here, 2-on-1. Really cranking it. Seen a lot of stuff Blaze can do off multiple ties, but the Russian is pretty serious.
A little surprised to see Dennis Flores going here for Newberry at 174. He's listed on their roster as a guy at 165, so perhaps wrestling up a little bit, filling a spot. I think another part of it is opposing teams a little hesitant to put their guys against Blaze Shade, who's just been so dominant this year. That redshirt year last year really helped him because going back to his sophomore season, you'd think, oh, he didn't even need that much help. He was an All-American in 2013-2014 and finished 8th place in the D2 National Championships, going 26-11 overall. He's been better this year.
Just see right now as he went for that sweep single right off the 2-on-1.
So it took a little while, but 2 points for Blaze Shade. 1:15 remaining in the first period. Flores almost had the escape, but couldn't get his footing. And there is the 1-point escape finally for the Wolf, Dennis Flores. 1 minute remaining in the first period. And Blaze Shade not able to take control of this one yet. It's just 2-1 in favor of the Braves star. Down 25 seconds left. A lot of credit to Flores for staying on his feet here. That's the horn signaling the end of the first period, and it's just 2-1. Blaze Shade in front of Flores for Newberry. Braves trailing big in the team scoring. It's 20-6. With just 3 weight classes remaining after this one. The Braves need some bonus point victories here. He's going to add some riding time to start the second period. Now with 30 seconds of total riding time after getting just about 10 seconds in that first frame. Not a lot. The Braves have won 4 duels in a row. That streak in jeopardy here this evening. 4 dual meet win streak came after 4 losses in a row. Flores gets to the edge. There's 1:07 remaining in the second period. I don't think he got the escape. He did not, so he'll go back to being on bottom.
1:04 of riding time.
No, now let's just say he did get the escape. So we're even at 2-2. And Shade will start out on the bottom in the third set. Really kind of a stunning contest here at 174. We're used to seeing Blaze Shade just dominate people.
Really pushing the offense here and got what he wanted, was a stall call on.
So the point there for Blaze gives him a 3-2 edge. Now set back neutral again.
Deep on the leg here. And the takedown.
There's 2 for Blaze Shade. 6 seconds left in the second period. 5-2 the lead. And he runs out the clock on period number 2 with adding a little bit more riding time. We'll start the third period with Blaze Shade owning 1:14 of riding time. So now, no matter what Dennis Flores does for Newberry, he can't possibly get the bonus point for riding time. All he can do is try to keep Blaze Shade for UNCP from getting that bonus point. Braves really need a bonus point victory. A regular decision doesn't really help UNCP that much. Down by 14 right now at the 174-pound weight class. Major decisions aren't really... regular decisions don't really help that much. I mean, it doesn't hurt, obviously, but 4 regular decisions and the Braves come up short. They need a couple bonus points. Blaze starts with the escape, making it 6-2 at the very beginning of the third period. Now he gets to work. How much has he worn out Dennis Flores? How much does Newberry's guy have left in the tank?
Deep underhook here, and gets the takedown. Very nice.
Got him right to the edge of the mat. Now Flores escapes right back. Flores goes to shoot the legs. Blaze is ready for it at the edge of the mat. They'll come set back neutral. 8-3 the score. Blaze Shade in front. There's still 1:24 to go in the third period. And plenty of time here for Blaze to make this a major decision. A tech fall feels like it's a little bit out of reach at this point. He would really have to pick up the pace in terms of getting takedowns. Last minute of the third period. Blaze Shade up 8-3.
Oh, wow.
Gets two
nice
more.
slide by right there.
That looked very nice. Makes it 10-3.
Could be a major decision right here.
Could be a major decision. The Braves, obviously a pin would have been much better. They'll take 4 rather than 3.
Still 35 seconds left.
Blaze can't give up too much. There's the escape. They'll come back neutral. It's 10-4. Now Blaze needs another takedown. In the last 30 seconds, he will get the riding time point. And there's the quick takedown. Wow, he knew he needed a knee. Wasted no time.
Almost going in right here to a turn. Looking for a
14 seconds to make a move. 10 seconds. Trying for a late pin. Looks like it's not going to happen. As the clock runs out at 174 pounds, Blaze Shade a winner by major decision, 13-4, as he defeats Newberry's Dennis Flores. Blaze Shade improves to 35-3 on the season. On to 184 pounds. It'll be Mikey Thomas for UNC Pembroke and Houston Evans for Newberry. Evans comes in with a stellar 28-5 mark, including 24-5 at the varsity level and 14-1 in duels. For UNCP, Mikey Thomas, the redshirt junior from Burlington, North Carolina, 19-8 with 5 pins, a tech fall and a major decision in his victories. Team score is 20-10 in favor of Newberry. After this one, there'll be just 2 weight classes to go, and the Braves, trying to do the math right now, any kind of decision going Newberry's way clinches this meet. On deck for the Braves will be Brock Walker at 197 pounds, and then Stuart Nadeau at 285. Braves need wins in all of these last weight classes. First minute down in the first period. No scoring yet. Mikey Thomas and Houston Evans. Thomas for the Braves, Evans for the Wolves. We're at 184 pounds. There's some action. Near the edge of the mat, dragging him back in. Thomas not giving up the point. Evans has his leg.
Wow.
Not too far to the edge, no advantage.
Almost too suspenseful to say anything right there. That's a lot of tough wrestling in that moment.
1:20 left to wrestle in the first period, no score. Big 2-point takedown for Houston Evans. Lifted UNCP's Mikey Thomas into the air for a second there. Five seconds left, riding time just adding up for Houston Evans for Newberry. He's got 40 seconds now of riding time in this first period. After getting that takedown at about the 1 minute mark, the escape for Thomas makes it 2-1. The first period comes to a close. 2-1, the lead for Houston Evans of Newberry. He also has 46 seconds of positive riding time. He will start out on bottom in period number 2. Mikey Thomas needs to make something happen for the Braves. A loss here at 184 pounds won't cut it. UNCP would be mathematically eliminated from trying to win this duel.
Great mat return by Mikey Thomas.
Thomas trying to get the crowd back into it. Been pretty quiet tonight in Pembroke, and there's the escape for Evans. Doesn't allow Thomas to cut too much into the riding time, as that escape happened about 20 seconds into the second period. Stall warning against Thomas. That's just the one warning he'll get. Just further reinforcing that he needs to be aggressive throughout the remaining half of this match. Minute 13 left in the second period. Braves trailing by 10 in the team scoring. 2 matches left to go after this one. Braves need a W right here to keep their hopes of winning a conference championship alive. Both of these teams will have one remaining ECAC duel. The Braves will be at Limestone on February 16th, and Newberry will be hosting King on February 17th. There's 2 more for Evans. .20 seconds left in the second period now. It's 5-1 in favor of Houston Evans for the Newberry Wolves. That's it for the second period. Mikey Thomas getting a little tired. He spent most of this match on the bottom. Minute 12 is the riding time advantage for Evans. Not insurmountable at all. Means Thomas, though, can't get the riding time bonus point. He's staring a 4-point deficit in the face as he starts out on the bottom in period number 3. Gets the quick escape. Now needs to get to work. (5-2). The Braves' Thomas trails. Lock back up. Minute 15 to go in the third period. Thomas down 3 with the riding time point right now, favoring Evans. He would get it if it ended right now. Last minute of the 184-pound match. The Braves' Mikey Thomas trying to keep hope alive for the black and gold. 36 seconds. Thomas trying to make something happen. It's, again, defended by Newberry's Evans. 20 seconds. Evans gets 2. It's on top, keeps the escape from happening. That might just do it. 10 seconds left. There's the escape for Mikey Thomas. Riding time point locked up. Thomas goes for the legs. Not enough time to do anything. At 184 pounds, it's Houston Evans for Newberry winning a decision 8-3 over UNCP's Mikey Thomas. We've got a good one here at 197 pounds. Brock Walker for UNC Pembroke versus Cody Brundage for Newberry. Brundage 22-10 this season. Walker coming in at 19-8. And this is a rematch of the earlier Pembroke Classic showdown that Brock Walker won in a 3-1 decision. So a low-scoring, very close contest between the two of them. The first time these two teams faced off over the course of the Pembroke Classic tournament. Team scoring is 23-10 in favor of Newberry, so they've clinched this duel. Even with 2 pins, the Braves can only get 12 points. It puts Newberry in the driver's seat in terms of winning the inaugural ECAC Wrestling Conference Championship. Both teams came in undefeated. The Braves will take their first conference loss here tonight with 1 duel remaining. Actually, this clinches it for Newberry. Even if they lose their final one next week and the Braves win, Newberry would have the tiebreaker. No scoring yet. Minute and 20 seconds into the first period here at 197 pounds. Brock Walker, we saw him honored before the action got started here tonight. His senior day, a huge part of the Braves wrestling program. Looking to wrap up his home wrestling career in the English E. Jones Center with a big W.
Right into a roll here. Looking promising. He has to be careful.
Walker's on his back. Tries to roll back over. No
Still
points
has the
awarded
leg
yet.
here.
He has the leg of Brundage. 40 seconds left in the first period. Still no score at the 197-pound level. There's the 2 points for Brundage as he's able to get on top. Walker escapes. Brundage kind of lets it go as he kind of hops around. Come back even. 20 seconds left in the first period.
Even though the scoreboard kind of doesn't really give much hope for the Braves, at least they can come out with some dignity, especially if Brock comes off with either a pin and Stewart as well.
That would make the score deceptively close. Or it could go the other way as the first period winds down. Just 6 seconds of riding time there for Cody Brundage, and Brock Walker will start out on the bottom in the second period. But so far today, Newberry has been the better team. 2 pins. One by Nick Langford at 141, one by Lucas Gilmore at 165. And almost another one right there. 4 points for the near fall there for Cody Brundage of Newberry, and then Brock Walker gets the escape. It's now 6-2. Give Brock Walker a lot of credit for the black and gold. He has not been on bottom for very long, not allowing riding time to go against him, but has also been dangerously close to being pinned a couple times here already. 30 seconds down in period number 2. 6-2 the edge for Cody Brundage.
Let's go, Brock.
1 minute remaining in the second period now, as these guys already looking at a higher scoring contest than the one from the first time they faced off this season. Again, a 3-1 win for Brock Walker at the Pembroke Classic over Cody Brundage. Brundage looking to get even. "30 seconds left now in the second period. Brundage has the lead and seems keen on staying on his feet. Ten seconds in the second period. Walker will start out on top in period number 3, although he probably need to say maybe he go even. He'll have to allow this escape and put himself in a bigger hole just to try to start getting some takedowns.
OT is going to the score table to challenge the 4 count for the near fall on that last roll through with Brock Walker.
Don't see any change on the scoreboard. Now, start of the third period at 197 pounds. UNCP trailing as a team 23-10. And UNCP's Brock Walker trailing 6-2. Of course, he could also, rather than give up the escape, could just try to go for a pin right here. Appears to be, oh no, there's the escape. 7-2 now. Riding time not really a factor for either wrestler at this point, and it looks like if they continue to just stand upright, it won't be in the final tally. The first of the Braves' 2 seniors honored here on senior night in a tough spot. In the last minute and 13 seconds, he'll have as a wrestler on his home floor. Brundage for Newberry, trying to close out Brock Walker here.
Brock was literally on his head the entire time. Hands were both busy fighting for the feet. Ref calls a 2 for the takedown. Pretty tough situation to defend right here, though.
If the team scoring was a little bit closer, you would start thinking about whether this is going to be a major decision or not. It's 9-2 right now. Riding time not going to be enough for Cody Brundage. And now a stall warning against Brock Walker, so that extra point could come by way of the stall. He needs to try to escape. Talked about how important the Braves getting bonus point decisions would be. It looks like it's Newberry could get that bonus point. 5 seconds left. Has Walker done enough to avoid stalling? Apparently, yes. Time runs out. Walker was starting to be in a tough spot. Not enough for the Braves. Brock Walker at 197. A decision loss to Cody Brundage for Newberry. Now we have just 1 weight class left. Final match of the evening. UNCP has senior Stuart Nadeau taking on Mike Kennedy from Newberry. Team score is 26-10 Wolves. They've clinched this dual meet and first place in the ECAC Wrestling Conference. Nadeau, 22-8 this season, 14-5 versus Division II opponents. Mike Kennedy, though, is no slouch. He's 13-9 on the year.
Not very often do you see a heavyweight go for a funk roll, but Stuart Nadeau, you got to know he's 197-pounder last year, and so a lot of that lighter weight mentality, which I say lighter weight because that was a 100-pound gain he had to give, and still with that lighter weight mentality, that's great coming into this heavyweight mindset.
Nadeau very agile for a guy in the heavyweight class. It is something to watch when he gets going. Let's see if he can get one last victory in his Braves career at home. Nadeau, third place at the Pembroke Classic on this floor earlier in the year. He did not face off against Newberry's Mike Kennedy. Minute 50 left in the first period. No score yet in this match. Edge of the mat. Nadeau rolls off the edge. Come back even, and no points awarded for either wrestler there. Tough spot, though, for the Braves. Felt like Nadeau was going to have an advantage. Nadeau's been a fan favorite in Pembroke throughout his career here at the Black and Gold. The fans want to see one last great performance from him. 50 seconds left in the first period, still no score between Nadeau and Kennedy. Seconds left. After praising these guys for being agile and athletic, this is starting to look more like a traditional heavyweight wrestling match. No score through the first period. And Nadeau elects to start on the bottom.
Right off the whistle up to a quad pod here. Almost had the reversal.
It's 1 point for the escape. Stewart on the attack. Seconds down in the second period. Still no score. Serious grappling going on between Stuart Nadeau and Mike Kennedy.
Very surprising to see heavy guys like that be so quick on their feet.
They go down, they pop right back up. That fleetness of foot developed at wrestling at a lower weight class for much of his UNCP career for Stewart. 45 seconds left in period number 2. Something's got to happen at some point. .30 seconds left. Looks like Stuart Nadeau's been on the attack for most of this second period, and it's just been Mike Kennedy able to fend off those attacks. 15 seconds left. And he goes for the legs. Doesn't work. 10 seconds left. They go towards the edge of the mat. Switch positions. Comes set back in the middle at neutral. Now Kennedy jawing with the officials a little bit. He's not happy. Four seconds left. Not enough time for either wrestler to really make anything happen here in the second period. And tell you what, this one's starting to get a little bit personal. He wiped his mouth a little bit like his mouth was bleeding, but I don't think it was. I think maybe he thought it was. Tried to get a timeout to stop what's been a pretty furious onslaught of attacks by Stuart Nadeau. And the Braves bench, they sniffed it out. So 2 minutes on the clock in the third period. The Braves can't win this duel. They're down 26-10, and this is the heavyweight match. Nadeau started a little too early there, so a warning against him. Mike Kennedy on bottom for Newberry. Waiting for him to get set. And here we go. Edge of the mat, an escape for Kennedy. We're all even at one apiece. So this is going to be a dramatic finish in the heavyweight tilt.
Definitely going to keep the rival flaming into next year.
Not going to have a final impact on the ultimate winner of this duel. Newberry clinched that a while back. 26-10 in the team scoring. Stuart Nadeau wants to go out on top on Lumbee Guaranty Bank Court on his senior night. 1:20 left in the third period. Last minute of the third period. We're still tied at 1. We'll go into a sudden death overtime if this score holds. Nadeau on the attack.
Almost
for
had
the
that
edge.
Outside leg trip right there. Got double unders here. Could do a lot with this. Going for it here. Could just limp arm out and circle around. But he's cranking on that shoulder.
Kennedy
Almost.
goes down. 2 points for Nadeau.
Almost a pancake right there. Could have took him right to his back, but a great takedown.
3-1 for the Braves, Stuart Nadeau. 20 seconds left in the third period. Now Kennedy needs an escape and a takedown. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. It's not happening for Newberry's Mike Kennedy. And the Braves get the win in the last match of the night. It's Stuart Nadeau, a decision over Mike Kennedy, 3-1. It makes the final team scoring for tonight's meet, 26 for Newberry, 13 for UNCP.